Like all 3 cores go BKB. And there's a 4 stuff on the Rubik, which helps and is great, but it's not like they have this like Mars type hero that can like buy these halberds and stuff like that will decisively like help them by that point in the game.
Yeah. And it felt like they needed like more. Like they got the BKBs and it felt like they needed 1 or 2 more items and they just didn't have the time. Like Sven's going to come at you pretty quickly. He farms at such a pace where if you're not ready, then you're in a lot of trouble. And if you can't slow the game down, I just don't see how you're going to win. And it's the unfortunate reality of playing against Sven.
They did slow the Sven down though. Like at one point, the troll and the Sven were both on like 9 to 10k net worth.
But that has to stay consistent though, right?
It does, but that comes down to not just because of the troll versus the Sven. That comes down to how the fights went with like the Earth Spirit and the Warlock and things, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's not just that like 1-to-1 core the farm. Yeah. So I like this Chen though by RNG. Oh my god, there's another Sven. It's got the steroid this time as well. So, oh dear.
I'm just gonna do it. No, I can't. I need to, wave the white flag of the Sven games.
Gay Ben.
It's too many.
Gay Ben.
I surrender on this patch.
How many times have we seen this Rubik Chen opening now, though? It's been quite a few.
For a couple different teams, too.
RNG, I think eHome picked it. I think Asta have picked it.
Yeah. So, I like it. But, again, it's like, Rubik Chen or Sven Ogre. Yeah. I feel like you'd definitely rather the Sven Ogre.
Agreed.
Shockingly. By the way,
I like this Brewmaster ban. We've seen how Yang has played it twice recently for Elephant, and he's done really, really well both times. I think it was only once in this tournament it's been played, but he did a really good job and controls those teamfights well.
I have a question for you. Sven got like a 60% win rate. He seems very strong. Obviously, in the first series, he was beatable, but if you're RNG or if you're Elephant, would you rather play against Sven or would you rather play against Undying or Lina?
Okay, I think these 4 bans at the start of the draft are the ones that we'll see mostly for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, I agree. But why not Sven?
Because Sven feels beatable. Like I don't know how to put it. Like playing against Lina or Undying feels miserable. Mm-hmm. Like, those heroes are so horrible to play against. Sven, it's like, oh yeah, he can get ahead, but there's things we can do to try and help, right? The problem is, you're first facing your carry hero as the Sven, and it's always going to do a job, right? Like, which is a problem. But, you only have 2 bans at the start of the game. Like, 4 technically if you count both teams. Like, Wisp has to go. That hero's crazy.
Yeah.
Undying, I think, has been a really strong force this tournament. I don't know what its win rate is, but it's felt very good. Lina, absolutely miserable to play against. He can flex between 2 and 4, which is a huge thing. At least he knows Sven's going to play position 1. Like, the only hero I could see it possibly replacing is Mars, because I think that hero is strong, but I think the Chinese teams rate it quite highly, like in comparison to like other regions, for example.
Well, Undying's win rate is only 45%,
but it feels horrible to play into.
Yeah,
like, and because you have to remember it's 45% win rate, but it's being first picked every single game.
And Mars is only 33%.
Yeah. That's what I mean. The Mars is, I think it's strong, but I don't think it's as strong as they think. But that's just my, personal view.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
They know a lot better than me, so.
It's just, would you rather ban a hero that's been beatable at 35 and 45%, or would you rather play against a Sven that's at 60%? Like, that is a massive difference, and it seems like this Sven just...
first pick Svens as well. Like,
yeah.
I get what you're saying.
It's kind of it's crazy with and now RNG go for the Magnus, and this is something that we've talked about. You find only a handful of heroes that can really compete with Sven in terms of farm, and if you want to pick a different core, you kind of need that in power. You kind of need that ability to have a way to keep up with this Sven. So I guess that opens up the door for Jug, Phantom Assassin, different cores that don't really farm as well that can get back into the game.
You have to remember, though, it's not just the Empower as well. It's the fact that you have this RP, which is a BKB piercing disable. So how many times this tournament have we talked about how when the Sven gets BKB, it's his time to just run at people? Like at least you have a way of trying to control him, it's very important. I think the having the Mirana though for Elephant, FY will be happy about this. We've seen him play it against the Chen, I think at least 3 times this tournament. I think he played it twice yesterday. So this is the third. He'll be more than happy. I think this was the same support duo they had before as well, where the Ogre goes Veil first before Boots, and the Mirana goes Mech, and they just team fight and they run at people at the 15 to 20 minute mark.
That early Veil Ignite, when we saw that yesterday, was so much early damage. It was disgusting. It's like you don't think of Ogre as anything but a guy who can just run at you with high armor and right click you with maybe Orb of Venom to start. But then he gets that Veil and he's got a couple of points in Ignite, and you're like, wow, okay. Apparently Ogre's a damage dealer now.
You have to remember the Veil feels so good to build into as well, because its build up is pretty cool. Like you have the Bazzi early on to give you the mana region that you need, and then the Crown to give you some stats, which is also nice, and then just a recipe. The recipe is quite expensive, but the build up of the 2 solid items that comes before feels really good. Jug. Okay.
I mean, that's what I was talking about. It was either going to be the Jug or the PA, or the Magnus kind of gives you those other options where you can keep up in farm, and it felt like if you're going to go with one of those, it was going to be either the PA or the Jug.
I thought they might consider going Void instead, but
yeah, and that Stormband, I was actually thinking about that because they really do enjoy the Vortex end of the arrow combo. That's something we saw them play the other day. FY throwing arrows when the electric vortex is pulling them in. It's that combination to get that long-term stun. I like that ban from RNG. I was thinking Storm is the pick for Elephant, so we'll see what they want to go to. They could still go to the Void Spirit. I think that's another ban that you need to think of here if you're RNG, because that's a combination that they like as well. Going into the Aether Remnant, having the arrow to follow that up, that means that FY can rotate towards mid, and if you get caught in an Aether Remnant, there's going to be an arrow to follow it up. You're in trouble.
I also think that I don't know how I feel about this Jug pick in general against Night Stalker. Like you want these BKB cores if you can at the moment, looking at Elephant's lineup. And I feel like Jug, even though he has spin, as soon as that AoE silence comes down, he's always going to be threatened, no matter what anyway, right? So they actually banned the Void Spirit.
Yeah.
I wonder what RNG go for. Like, Evoker's still in the pool if they want to go for it and have this, massive steroid hero with, Alacrity and Empower. Which seems okay. But I could see Elephant potentially going OD as well, maybe.
Yeah, they've got the Ogre. That's been a combination that we've talked about a little bit.
But it's Astral into Arrow. It's like this hero that scales relatively well. They might feel like they need some more wave clear, potentially, on Elephant, which is important for them this game. Like this RNG lineup, they want to group up. We've talked about this: the Chen, Jug, Magnus. You group up around this Jug with Healing Ward and with Hand of God and Mech and everything. They're lacking a little bit of catch and team fight. I would say on RNG is probably what they need in their last pick. They have RP, which is nice, but I feel like you want a little bit more as well. And they need early game damage output as well. Ooh, that's cool.
That's new.
I like that. That's a hero that can. This is what I want. I want this. We want an RNG to run at them and force early engagements. And Tiny is a hero that loves doing that. You have Avalanche Toss, run at their heroes. Like you don't need your blink item timing to do it. Like you just run into their jungle and stop the Sven from farming. So this is cool.
I think OD is a nice pick.
Yeah, I think it lanes really well against the Tiny as well.
Well, that's if Tiny's mid. It could be the offlane Tiny that we see Faith Beyond playing.
I think it's more likely to be Tiny mid and then Magnus offlane, but yeah, it could be either. Or Core Chen, dude. 5 Rubik. 4 Tiny. What happened to the old Core Chen? Do you remember Skem playing that as Chen carry all the time? That was fun.
Well, we were talking to MLP about that just the other day, and there's the OD. Yeah. We're getting good at this.
Well, it's because it's only about 30 heroes that get picked at the moment, it feels like. So,
Can we try to get a high five going?
Absolutely not.
This hand? Yeah. No. Hold on. Come on. High five. There we go. Yeah.
Oh my god, your hands are so small.
Yeah. I mean, all right. keep those under the camera now. Never mind.
Yeah, it's better
Show
than
those
my
again.
camera when I started off today, when my face was like this
Oh, yeah.
at the start of the day. So we're fine. Yeah, I like this OD pick. Their draft's a bit greedy on Elephant. They have 3 cores that all need a bit of time. So maybe this Jug, if he gets a good timing, they can just run at them. It's going to be down to Setsu, who is playing the mid-tiny to make space for them. But I think their laning stage looks really strong on Elephant. I think if Mirana ever comes mid, you have Astro into Arrow. I think Yang should have a decent time in the lane up against the Chen and the Jug.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're just going to collapse on this 25-minute timing again with like their BKBs. And they're just going to force fights that I don't think RNG will be able to take.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, Setsu's going to be playing this mid-tiny. You've got the safe lane Jug, off lane SRF Magnus, which SRF does play that hero pretty well. But we'll see how it ends up going for them.
I hope Red Panda goes Veil again, though.
Yeah, so do I.
That's what I'm hoping for here, because it works really well with like the OD, the Mirana, the Night Stalker with their burst damage. So I'm assuming he will. There's no reason not to, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Much better Rubik game this time, though.
Oh, yeah,
You
there's a
can
lot more to play with.
You can still Astral from the OD, feels really good. Like, any of the... I think the Night Stalker spells were all okay. Like, Arrow's really good, Saf was good. I think if you get Bloodlust for the Jug, that would be huge, when you've got Empower as well. I don't know, I just feel like Elephant do okay in all 3 lanes. Like, the Sven should be fine because he has the Ogre babysitting him. I think OD beats Tiny mid. Like, especially when you get to like this level 3-4 mark on the... Like, Tiny has to do well in the first few waves, I think. Because when it gets to like, level 3, then 5 especially, he has a really tough time. This Night Stalker hero is so fun to watch. Why does he have 69 damage as well and 5 armor? His laning stage used to be really weak, but I feel like if you're against these like really bullying 5s like Undying, he's horrible, but against things like Ched, he just doesn't care.
Wonder how well we'll see FY play, because he had a little bit of trouble with the Mirana the past few games.
The battle begins.
And not like a whole bunch of trouble, it was just more so like lack of landing arrows. He still played well.
Yeah, and I'll be wondering if he goes for the mech first again. I'm assuming he will to play into the Chen's mech, but we'll see. I still think yours is okay this game as well. You're playing against Omni Slash, so it always has value. I think he went Brown Boots mech into Yules before.
I want to see if Ogre builds into this Veil. And if Red Panda is actually going to die this game.
Spoil that shot.
Red Panda actually just running at SRF for the moment, but up towards top, Blade Fury on Yang. The Jay taking a lot of damage early on. He needs to be a little bit careful in this lane. He just has Blade Fury to start. We'll see how early he goes into the healing ward.
Yeah, Blade Fury is massively scary at level 1. Like, you get the... It's like 85 damage a second, but then there's magic resistance on the heroes as well. So they kind of just click back sometimes.
This should be easy for FY to kind of get set up for an arrow over mid if he does come through. How well does Setsu go up against the OD too?
It's okay in the first few levels, but then as the range comes through for the Astra and things, like you'll see now, he's just denying range creeps, denying another creep. Oh, double deny from Tiny though.
Yeah, he actually came out of the Astral and then just got a straight deny.
Got 2 denies. So yeah, the Tiny being even at the moment is okay for him. Yeah, but the level 3 is about to come out, and then it's different. I want to know how bot lane's doing. How's Sven doing? My main man.
Top of the CS? Shocked.
Why does he have 5 base armor as well? Like, it's just so many questions.
Telekinesis. Eurus. It might be in some trouble. Stormhammer comes out as well as the Fade Bolt to hit the shockwave. But
Yeah, they didn't have skewer there, unfortunately. So this is what we saw the mag do before. He went 1-0-1, right? But when you get this really early point in power, you don't really have the same kill potential, unfortunately.
Stormhammer on a Felix, ignite.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Bloodlust, shockwave again, but still doing damage, still chasing Felix. Body blocks from SRF, trying to get in front. He'll look through the trees.
He'll stun up again in 3.
Oh gosh, Felix, he's gonna be first blood here. I don't think he gets away from this. The Stormhammer, he doesn't even need it. He's got the damage. He'll get the kill. And then FY gets a courier up towards top.
Yeah, it's the headdress as well. So it's actually quite a big courier kill, that one. And now, this is what we were talking about. FY's going to look towards mid here with the arrow, with the astral setup. He's got it up in 10 seconds. And Setsu's relatively low. He has just picked up the bottle, so he's going to be able to regen some up a little bit, but they have good kill potential here. Oh, he gets the courier. Again.
Look at FY's positioning. Now he's taking the big creeps away from these camps. He might just come towards mid.
He doesn't even need to, though, to be honest. Like, not at the moment. He trusts in his OD to be doing okay in this lane. Who's not doing amazing, has to be said. I thought someone else would be doing a little bit better here.
He's got 8 denies. He's not doing terribly, I would say, because he's got that high amount of denies compared to the Tiny. But he'd probably be wanting to do better, and he's going to go for the double stack here on the Mirana. He's got both.
4-minute rune as well. Setsu needs to cast a spell here. Yeah,
Eurus going down. Bottom.
Mid lane as well. Yeah, they were trying to give the haste rune to the Tiny, and unfortunately now he doesn't have a courier to work with. So he's not going to be able to bring up more mana regen. So like his game is super difficult now. The OD just bullies him. Yeah, really good kill on the Sven down in bot lane though.
And again, Red Panda finds himself already being level 4.
Yeah.
He's
Even
ahead in experience over Eurus.
Even quicker than last game. That's the best bit.
Yeah. Is he going for the Veil?
Yeah. Well, he's going Bazzy at least, so.
Chen coming towards mid, arrow out. Only hit one of those Chen creeps. Magnus, he's forced to skewer away. But they want to go for the 5-minute rune. Telekinesis,
No
Stormhammer onto this Magnus, and Eurus is actually just going to go right past them and look for the bounty rune, but it's not there. He maybe could have focused his attention on the SRF to get the kill.
Did they get 1 bounty rune on Elephant there? Oh, yeah, it's 3-1. So RNG pick up 3 this time. Chen sneaks over to the other side.
OD starting to kind of catch up on the Tiny, but up towards top. Avalanche onto Yang. They're chasing with the Blade Fury. Super coming over. They just can't quite catch up to Yang, and he does have a TP.
This is a lot of time commitment by Setsu though on the Tiny to not get anything. That feels really bad because he doesn't have TP to get back to lane either. So like where he's done really well against the OD in lane, he knows he's going to start to fall behind, so he needs to make things happen. Now OD's going to go and cover the 6-minute rune as well. Oh god.
Arcane rune for the OD. And now he's just got the Bloodlust. So Setsu kind of needs to be careful. FY not coming over with an arrow or anything, but well, they've got the Astral Imprisonment. They're going to disrupt his farm. They'll throw the Ignite out. Setsu forced back. Courier coming over now with the headdress again. Finally, he's got it.
Oh, bot lane.
Yeah, Simon's going bottom. Let's see if he can catch up. The trees aren't here. They're going to have to throw the Stormhammer out in SRF, but they won't.
Ooh. Yeah, I thought they were going to initiate with the Svensson, like you say. But...
Yeah. Jug's also down here. Stormhammer. Jug's actually level 6. They don't have a level 6 just yet on the Sven. He's looking for the Omni Slash. Goes into the trees, trying to make his way through, and does so successfully.
Yang as
That's
well, though,
massive.
Now.
Yanks come over. They're going to look over at SRF and get the kill. They'll turn their attention towards Jug and Rubik. Really well done there by Eurus to navigate through the trees.
Yeah, he has a really early medallion on the Night Stalker as well, and now Super's dead as well.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
Now Sven can just go and start farming the jungle as well, farming these stacks, finding his own items.
Does he make his way to the opposite side over here? Because he's got a triple stack, I believe.
Yeah, he'll farm the ancients at some point. Like it'll be the next god strength that it does now.
Yeah. No,
that's a huge amount of net worth.
Ooh, does he? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you cut the trees down, it's much easier to stack that camp. And you see, he has a quelling blade on FY to help with that. It's a nice little item to have. We haven't seen this Astral Arrow combo much though in the laning stage, which I'm surprised about.
We haven't seen it at all yet.
Considering, like, I think Somnus didn't have the best of lanes, that makes sense.
Well, Jelly.
Dire.
Does the Night Stalker eat that?
Yeah, I think you don't give it to OD. I think you give it to Sven and yourself.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
No.
Oh, he gave it to OD anyway.
Give it to the OD.
He's gone Urn. Oh.
What do we normally see first?
Meteor Hammer.
Meteor Hammer, right? Yeah.
But
Okay.
I assume that Urn charges work the same way with Flux that Meteor Hammer does. So that every tick slows them down. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen it before, but that's what I'd assume at least.
Royal Jelly for both teams.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Red Panda's already level 6.
Yeah. And I feel like they've been pressuring this bot tier 1 for ages on RNG.
Yeah. Throws out an Ignite, gets the multicast. They've got 4 heroes down here. They're going to look for Red Panda. Might finally die for the first time this series. Looking very likely, and yeah, kills the healing ward, loses his life.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
FY's just going to come and pull the creep wave away off the tower as well if he can, but unfortunately they've started chasing him already.
Ooh, and that courier has to be careful. I like this. Good glyph here. Ooh, good leap from FY.
But look how much space he's buying. Like it's taking him so long to kill this tier 1 because they're just messing around with them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Almost
he's in trouble now.
That bounty, but yeah, now he's in trouble. Felix has the leap. Not going to need to use it. They'll get the kill on FY with the avalanche as well as the toss.
Red Panda just
Red
TPs
Panda
in and dies again.
Dies the second time, so he's making up for all the deaths he didn't have in the previous game. RP on to Yang, 1 by 1. They're going in on the side of Elephant. They've got the telekinesis. He's going to try and get out of this, but there's no way to do so when you're surrounded by 5 heroes.
If Yang hadn't have died, I think this might have been all worth it in the end. Because they're keeping their tower alive for so long, but as soon as Yang TPs in and dies as well, like, that's definitely not worth it. Because, like, at the same time, this man's just farming, right? Like,
bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
he did take that ancient stuff, by the way. But, yeah, now the problem is the Jug is absolutely massive because he's just found so many kills.
Although, getting run at. Nobody here to help out Somnus, though. Stolen Astral Imprisont's great. Level 4, too.
Yeah, that's the best thing he can get this game, I think. It's really good.
$1K lead right now for Elephant. A lot of that gold, though, on the Sven.
Yeah,
You do have Somnus, who's surpassed the Tiny in terms of net worth, and now Setsu gets another kill on a Red Panda. We talked about Red Panda having no deaths in the previous game. Now I can't stop talking about the fact that he's got 3 in this game.
I like how quickly they're trying to play the game, though, on RNG. They're trying to, like, force the tempo in and things. But they're running at heroes that aren't Sven, and I think it might come back to bite them.
FY over. They've got a ward down, so they're spawning all these heroes over to the side. They might even throw an arrow to try and get something out of this, and it hits the Chen, but they don't have a follow-up to it. The army doesn't block that arrow.
Yeah, but that's exactly what the Chen wants. He doesn't want his creeps to die. Like, he'd rather tank it on the hero. That's quite funny.
Smoke. Are they heading? Yeah, they're heading towards top, but Yang's the one who's up here, not the Sven.
Yeah, I think they saw Yang under their ward though, so they know he's up here. Now he's showing under a wave as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Does he get out
Yang
of the
has
trees?
He has Dark Ascension in 1 second. SRF's TPing away as well.
Dire
Mid.
structures are falling.
Astro Imprisonment, Stormhammer.
Is under attack.
SRF gets back, and
Oh, Moonlight Shadow.
let's see what they can get out of this. They'll try for the tier 1 over mid. TP's coming through. Eurus needs to be careful with this one, but now you look over to the side. They've got the Hand of God. Red Panda, he's been stunned up by the Centaur. They have the Astro Imprisonment on the Sven. They'll throw the Stormhammer at the Blade Fury Jug. God Strength gets popped. Avalanche hits onto Yang, tossing up the Centaur into the air, and now he's by the clip. They'll get the kill onto the Tiny. Setsu gets ripped apart. The 4x3 going the way of Somnus. They'll look over at the Chen. They continue to chase, look for Super. They've got themselves the damage coming up from the God Strength Sven. Take out a second. RNG on the run. Skewer away from SRF just to get some space between him and the side. Elephant.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Tiny's this hero that, you know, your first death really means a huge amount, and he hasn't been farming that much either. So, like, if you look at his net worth now, he's going to start to fall behind a lot. When you get this blink, you need to be finding kills non-stop. And I don't know if he's going to have that opportunity, unfortunately.
Flux Stone.
Easy steal. That fight start. That fight started really badly though. They went on the Night Stalker top, who just got Moonlight Shadowed, and they had no detection after the Avalanche toss combo ended. So it's like, oh, well, he's just gonna walk away then, isn't he? Like, what do we do?
They're smoked up again. Smoke's gonna break. They'll go for Eurus. Red Panda coming over. Avalanche as well as the toss onto the Sven, but is it gonna be enough? They have the telekinesis to follow it up as well as the Blade Fury. Now Arrow coming in. Sven low, ends up dead. They do get the kill on a Eurus. That's a massive one to get. And they'll look over at Red Panda as well as FY. FY leaps across the crystals that are there in between the middle lane and that neutral camp. But Red Panda's still dead.
Great pickups for them. Unfortunately, though, they are four or five heroes here, so they get these couple of kills, but they're not farming at the same time. But that is really good that they find the Sven in the jungle. Like, that's the biggest kill on the map. So now they need to, if they transition this into mid tier 1, will have all been worth.
Oh no! FY standing close by, and now they've got the RP on the Somnus. They're gonna buy back on FY. Try to get the kill on the Somnus. He's gonna start right clicking away at SRF. Who already used the RP trying to TP out. Do they have the damage to get the kill? SRF? You think so?
Yeah, and they're looking for more as well. The Jug's been silenced up by the AoE.
Yeah, but I don't think he's got anybody here that's going to be with him to help get this kill. They look over and they see Setsu as well. Can he get in front of him and block him from getting back and down these stairs? Maybe they can get the kill to the Tiny. Arrow flies in, but the Blink Dagger is available for Setsu so he can get out of range.
Just in time. Yeah, I mean, FY has
Super.
Survive there, which is a pain.
Getting run down by Yang.
Oh, wow.
In between the tier 2 and the tier 3, they've got the telekinesis onto the Night Stalker. They'll also throw out the stolen Stormhammer. Avalanche toss on a Somnus. Yang gets saved. Astro Imprisonment used by Felix. Omni Slash comes out into Somnus to get the kill into the OG. Now they'll look over at Yang to finish him off as well. Stormhammer, God Strength, and Setsu getting lit up. Starstorm from FY. Not going to land because they've already killed off Setsu.
They don't have RP
coming around
here
the back.
on the
Yeah, they don't have RP to work with. Red Panda skewered back though. Pretty tanky, but not tanky enough to survive.
Yeah, God Strength ran out on the Sven, so they wanted to just back off. I love that they're trying to go for it though on RNG. This is completely different to what they did last game. Last game it felt like they just fell over and died, right? But this game they're actually just going for it. They want to, make this action happen. I mean, Elephant are still like massively in the lead. I think it's like it's a 2k, almost a 3k net worth advantage, but like when the Sven gets agged, their game's going to get much harder.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
What does OD have? He's got Hood. Jesus.
Complete different build from the ODs we've been seeing.
Yeah. It's cool though. I've only ever seen people build Hood on OD against heroes like Nyx before, but it makes sense against like Tiny and things as well. Stops you just getting bursted down from 100 to 0. Like if you ever got Omni'd, theoretically you should be able to just Astro yourself. So the Hood protects you from the rest. Unless you get like chain stunned.
I love the Solar Crest too.
Well, they're getting recalled. Top lane.
Astro Spatial Imprisonment, SRF, he does have RP, Telekinesis into the RP. They've got the Jug here, they'll have the damage, they'll take out Somnus again.
Yeah, good kill. Every time they kill the cores, always a good kill. But again, they're like 4 heroes top, right? So it's the same thing. Like you see Yang just pushing out bot lane, Sven's just farming the jungle. So even though they're finding their kills, they're not gaining any net worth advantage from it on RNG, really.
They're in a Roche though.
Oh, okay. Radiant no, because they've scanned though.
Yeah, and they use the Moonlight Shadow to try and get near this. Red Panda throws the Veil out. Everybody retreats. Look at this arrow coming over. That's going to hit onto the Chen. They'll have the God Strength. They'll get the kill into Super. Now they'll look towards the rest. Leap forward, taking out the Healing Ward. Eurus hit with the Bloodlust. Stormhammer, Telekinesis coming up from the Rubik, but they've got the Silence, so Rubik unable to do anything now. He'll be killed off by Eurus as well. That's a double kill for him, and they'll back off into Roche. Now they have an opportunity to get this Aegis.
Yeah, exactly. They know there's no RP, so they're really strong at the moment. They have a Solar Crest on Yang as well, so this Roche dies incredibly quickly. Really well played.
They've also got OD who's available into this fight, with Sanities available.
There's no God Strength now, though, for Elephant, so they need to just be a little bit more careful over the next couple of minutes or so. Well, 70 seconds, sorry. Oh, I forgot how short of a cooldown it was. My fault.
They're just going to go for the tier 2 tower up towards top, or at least push the creeps in. Once they have God Strength, I wouldn't be surprised to see them just make the move. And he's level 15. He's also got the Axe, so he's got the Dispel. He's got the Axe. He's ready to move in. And with God Strength, he feels like he can kill anybody.
Yeah, playing the Dispel against the Magnus as well feels really good. So, like, if you ever stun the Jug, for example, like, you can take off the Empower. I know, this is the timing that we talked about, though, like the 20-25 minute mark, right? They just start running at them with... Well, they haven't even gone BKB this game.
Ooh, Blink RP, that's on Yang as well as the spam, but they got the stun to follow this up. Now they've got the silence onto the Magnus. Pendant's thrown forward, but I don't know if that's going to matter. They'll use the Hand of God to try and keep the Magnus alive, but SRF, as he's scoring away, Stormhammer comes out. They get the cone of the Magnus. They'll look towards the rest. They've stolen Stormhammer. Setsu on the run. Felix, he's already towards the backline, so he can't really throw a Stormhammer to really help out the Tiny or the Jug. They get the kill on Setsu. They look over for Jay, but Jay gets into the trees over by the jungle and he'll escape. But look at this. Somnus, Yang, as well as Eurus. They're in the base. They'll get the kill on Felix as well as Super. It's a triple kill for Eurus. Jug over to the side. They use the Dark Ascension. They'll get nearby. Blade Fury buyback comes out from Felix.
Go for it.
Oh, they get the courier instead.
Easy.
Double damage time.
Yeah. But this kind of, like, Sven diving your base play is, like, so soul-destroying to play against, right? Like, look at this is what I was saying, though. They've tried to go for the game, which I really respect. But now look at the Tiny and the Mag's net worth. Like, they haven't been farming. So, again, like, Tiny has Phase Boots Blink. He's been finding some openings, but in that time, they're just falling further and further behind.
Yeah.
There's a DD for the Sven to take. Good stuff.
With the Hood on Somnus, he's not really taking that much damage from the Avalanche Toss anymore, right?
Exactly. Like, who does he go on first? Murata has 1,100 HP and a mech. Ogre has 1,400 HP. OD has a Hood and 2 strength heroes as well. You can't kill heroes by yourself this game.
Allies disappear.
Double damage.
Oh, look at Setsu top, maybe. Oh, TP's out.
Magnus. The double damage is there. I don't know how you deal with this. Courier going down, Super on the run. There's the Ignite and Eurus on your tail. It's just a matter of time until Superman arrives. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's just Sven again with Axe.
It's always the Sven with Axe. Jesus. It's more common than birds at this point.
Or for you New Yorkers, rats.
Rats, yeah.
Speaking of rats, I saw a rat as big as a dog yesterday.
Maybe it was a dog. Maybe it wasn't a rat at all.
Setsu, Avalanche on the Eurus. Still has the Aegis to work with.
Yeah, Blink RP.
Skewer with the Shockwave, but okay. Stormhammer to avoid the Swift Slash.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And they get the Aegis, but what else
the
can
mag,
they get?
though.
Uh-oh, if they've got the Silence and they get the kill into the mag, which they will with the God Strength, now the Omni Slash comes out. That's going to be mitigated by the 3
Warcry,
heroes. Here it
though.
goes over to the Night Stalker. They don't get the kill into any of them. Yang's sitting a little bit low, but they get the kill into
Great
Felix.
arrow.
They'll take it a second. Now the Swift Slash comes through, but it's not going to be enough. The Blade Fury away from the Juggernaut. They've got the Silence on top of the Tiny. They'll get the kill into Setsu. They'll take it a third on the side of RNG. They'll look over at this Jug. Falling forward, looking for Super. Right-click Satan from Somnus. Taking out a 4th, making a 5th with the Sanities coming through. Double kill for Somnus. Full team wipe for Elephant, and GG is called by RNG. Elephant will take the 2-0.
Middle tower is under attack.
Fair play. And again, I proved the theory, B-Cop. I feel like LGD Vici Elephant are just on a different level almost from these other 3 teams. But to be fair, we saw eHome do it as well. If I had to rate the teams, I'd put them 4th, eHome. But yeah, really convincing series by Elephant.
Yeah.
We're done in 3.5 hours for 4 games, B-Cop. That's quite impressive.
Going quickly. I'm not even tired.
I just want to talk about this Jugs build quickly because I actually thought it was a really good idea. Like you saw that Omni Slash in the last fight actually did a lot of damage, but the Warcry came out from the Sven, and there was like 4 heroes there as well, so it got spread out between them all. The Marcy Manus is obviously really good on that hero. The Deso's really good up against Sven because that hero doesn't naturally have high armor. So you want to be able to, like, when you're playing up against Sven, you want to be able to get through that Warcry and things and get through his armor, which is the best way to deal with him. And then obviously you go for the Axe for that more physical damage. But I mean, I like that they tried something different on RNG. They obviously had a plan for this game. It didn't work out. They had some really convincing pickoffs, some good fights. But again, the Sven just free farms the jungle until it eventually just becomes like this ridiculous hero.